Right now, someone could Google your name and find your home address and your phone number and potentially even a list of relatives, if not more information, on a website that you probably haven't even heard of, that you certainly did not sign up for. Most people don't think or hear about these things until it's already caused an issue. This video is a step-by-step guide to try and fix that. We're going to talk through all of the free options that you have at your disposal, and then finally, my main recommendation that, in my opinion, fills in a lot of those gaps. And you're probably thinking, great, that main recommendation costs money, and he's going to try and make me spend that money. And you know what? The main recommendation that I have does cost money, but we're not starting there. We're starting with the free options that are available to everyone, and we're going to talk through what those do, what they won't do, and whether or not the things that they won't do are deal breakers for you. So if you want to go ahead and just skip to my final recommendation, the link is in the description. If you spend any money there, it helps support the channel, which I greatly appreciate. But for everyone else who wants a step-by-step guide, let's dive in. So before we get into the how, let's talk about the what, because the problem is actually two separate things, though they sound very similar, and usually people only know about one of them. The first is the dark web. This is, corners of the internet that are not indexed by search engines, and that's usually where information from data breaches winds up. Passwords, credit card numbers, social security numbers, sign-in credentials, all of those things. If you've ever gotten a notification about a data breach, the information usually winds up on what is called the dark web, and from there, that information gets spread around and traded and moved around so that people can use it for hacking or identity theft, or just to send you a bunch of spam. The second problem is what are called data brokers, and it frankly sounds a whole lot less dramatic than the dark web, so it gets a lot less attention. But what these websites are, and there are, believe me, literally hundreds of them, their entire business model is collecting, packaging, and republishing people's personal information. And that can be anything from, obviously, your name, your address, age range, your salary range, familial connections, even your purchasing habits. It's all there being bought and sold all the time, every single day. And that information then gets used by advertisers and potential employers. And, it's on these data broker sites. And the real issue is it doesn't just get put up there once. Even if you ask to have yourself removed, which you can, they can then just republish that information anytime after the fact. All right, free options. Let's talk through them properly because they are genuinely worth your time. The first I would recommend is doing a dark web search. There are free options out there. Aura has one. There's no commitment, there's no credit card. It is just an initial scan of the dark web to see if there is any of your information from a data breach out there. It's not a monitoring service, but it is a valuable one-time snapshot where you can see how much of your information has potentially been exposed. It's a good option to give you an idea of how big of an issue you may have with your own data privacy. Next is Google's Results About You tool. I feel like I don't hear people talking about this, but it is actually pretty useful. They allow you to search your personal information and then submit removal requests on search results where they see your personal information. Now, I should note, this does not remove your information from the data broker sites that Google is indexing, but it does make that information harder to find through a simple search. And frankly, that's not nothing. Okay, next, manual opt-outs from people search sites. There are sites like, Spokeo and Whitepages and Ben Verified. They all have their own opt-out request system. They're all different. They each have their own forms, their own verification processes, and frankly, their own timelines. They will all eventually work to remove your information from those sites. Again, doing a free scan periodically will help just kind of review your level of exposure and see what pain points you need to take care of. And lastly, tighten the belt on your social media privacy settings. This is one I feel like a ton of people don't think about, but limit who can see your posts and your contact information and your friends list. So many data brokers scrape social profiles for this kind of information, and putting a lid on it can help prevent them from getting information from a primary source. An honest summary of all of these tactics for me is it does make a meaningful difference. You are reducing your exposure. You're eliminating your information from some places, but the reality is it will pop back up and you've got to stay vigilant, and you need to be taking consistent stock of where your information is exposed and, where you want to target trying to get that information taken down. It's a reduction game, not an elimination game. And it's in the difference between reduction and elimination where the risk lives. If you're finding that the free pathways are not keeping up and you're ready to pay a little bit of money to help take care of this issue, your instinct may be to go with a dedicated data broker removal service. And that instinct makes sense. It just unfortunately comes with a structural problem. Data broker removal as a standalone service only covers part of the problem. You could conceivably remove your information from every single data broker site out there, and that wouldn't necessarily protect you if, someone chose to open up a credit card using your name, or if, your social security number surfaced in a space that it shouldn't. Removal without monitoring and potential recovery steps is only ever going to tackle part of the issue. It's ultimately just incomplete. It's like scrubbing the counters, but leaving the floors a mess. This is why we recommend a service called Aura. It's not just a data broker removal tool, one tool for one job. It is a full platform. Here is what Aura gets you in plain language. The first is dark web monitoring. Aura consistently scans the dark web for things like your social security number, your credit card numbers, or any piece of personal information that may be out there floating around. You get alerted to that information being out there, which gives you time to adapt and potentially stop fraud before it happens. Next is data broker removal. It's automatic. There are no forms, there are no consistent updates, no scheduling reminders to check back. They submit the removal requests continuously and they get taken down continuously. Next is credit monitoring. They monitor all three of the major credit bureaus. And this is important because potential fraudulent information shows up on credit reports before people typically realize it. And it's one of the quickest steps that people can take to stop fraud before it happens. Next, antivirus and a VPN. This is device level protection and encrypted browsing, which helps protect you further, included in the same bundle. And then finally, if all of that happens to fail, if the worst happens and your identity gets stolen or somebody opens a credit account in your name, they offer account recovery services and insurance up to $1 million worth to help you deal with the fallout. The link to try Aura is in the description. And here's the thing about it, Aura updates and changes their deals and pricing, fairly regularly. So the best deal that's available to you when you're watching this video may not be the one that is happening when we're making this video. So click that link in the description. You will get the best deal that's available at the time you're watching this. And again, it also helps support the channel, which we greatly appreciate. Most people won't need the recovery piece, but the people that do need it and don't have it typically remember that decision for some time. That's not a scare tactic. That's just what I have found to be true. If you want to start taking care of this issue, but you're not ready to dive in fully yet, use Aura's free dark web scan, use Google's Results About Me tool, send those manual opt-out requests on those big name people search sites, and lock down those privacy settings on your social media platforms. That will do a good deal of work to meaningfully reduce your exposure. And if you really want to start tackling the issue and eliminating it rather than just managing it, the link to Aura is in the description. Like I said, they change their pricing and their deals at any given moment. So whatever you find in that link is the best thing that's out there when you're watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.